In this video, I will be doing a complete breakdown of the 2 trades I took, making $1,700 on 18th of January 2022, that too within the first 8 minutes of market open by scalping options day trading. My first trade on this day right off the market open was on DWAC. If you don't know what this company is, this company had a recent squeeze because of the Donald Trump social media platform, and since then it's been consolidating, and recently we again had a bit of news regarding the same social media Donald Trump news on DWAC, and we broke out of this triangle. Then we made a bull flag on the daily chart, and on this day, on 18th of January, that is this day, Tuesday, on Monday the market was closed. So on Tuesday I was liking it for the break of the bull flag towards the upside. The high of this day was around 74.47, and in the pre-market just before the market opened, DWAC was having a nice push towards the upside. On this day I was also on voice with our members of the Discord group, and I mentioned that I'm liking DWAC for the break of 75 right before the market open. And if you guys want to be part of our Discord group, the link will be in the description box below. So my play on DWAC was to catch the break of pre-market high with the profit target of $75, $76 and $77 respectively, because we don't have a lot of technicals on this stock, so every whole dollar level will act as a good critical level for taking profits and taking my partials. Let's now jump on to the 1 minute chart and see what happened just before the market opens, so you guys have a better idea, and we will jump on to my entries and exits. Just before the market open, you guys can see around 9:24 AM, DWAC had a nice push towards the upside with increase in volume in the pre-market. This volume was pretty high for the pre-market, and it made a pre-market high of around 73.40, and that is the reason because of this push just before the market open, I was liking it for a break of the pre-market high. Let's now jump on to my entries and exits and the recording of this trade. This is the recording of my trade on DWAC. As I mentioned, it made a pre-market high of around 73.4. Right at the market open, I was just waiting for a confirmation when I saw a lot of green, the break of 74. I placed my order to get filled 20 contracts. I'm trading 75 calls, same week expiry contracts, but you guys can see I only got filled 7 contracts on this position, so I cancelled my order. I was holding 7 contracts and my fill price was 4.07. Now my strategy on this trade is that if I get the hold of 75 and a continuation towards the upside, I will hold on to my position, but if I see any rejection at $75, I will take my profits, and that's what I did. I took 2 contracts out at a fill price of 4.65 and the remaining 5 contracts at a fill price of 4.32, overall making around $250 on this trade. In hindsight, if I would have got filled 20 contracts instead of 7 contracts, I would have most likely made $1,000 on this trade, because I know my partial strategy. I would have most likely exited 10 of my contracts at a fill price of 4.65, making around $600, and the remaining 10 contracts at a fill price of 4.32, making another $300. So this could have been a $1,000 trade. These things happen with options when you are trading right at the market open, because the spreads are very wide. I don't like placing market orders personally, because sometimes when I place market orders, the spreads are so wide that I lose around 15-20% just on the spreads. So that's a personal choice. I'm okay leaving a bit of profits on the table instead of placing market orders and getting screwed on the spreads. My second trade on this day was on SPY. I traded SPX index options, but I was watching SPY for the day. That was straight from the game plan that I post every single market open day on our Discord group. Again, if you guys want to be part of our Discord group, the link will be in the description box below. I was watching SPY and I was very confident with this trade, because SPY has been holding this uptrend line for a very long time, for the past 1 year. In the pre-market on Tuesday, SPY was gapping down. SPY made a pre-market low of around $458. So I was watching SPY for the break of pre-market low with a potential profit target of 457, 456.60 right here, 455 and 453, because this trend line has been holding for a very long time. So if we get some selling pressure under this trend line, this might lead to a few stop losses getting triggered and a continuation move towards the downside. We just broke down the bigger picture, the daily chart of SPY. That's what I like to do. Let's now focus on the 1 minute chart. I follow the top down approach. That means first I look at the weekly chart, then the daily chart, then the hourly chart, then the 5 minutes, and then my entries and exits are based on the 1 minute chart. This is the 1 minute chart of SPY. SPY made a pre-market low of around right here, that is around 458.5, right? Right at the market open, we saw a clean flush on SPY right here. We saw an increase in volume, a clean flush towards the downside. This is the pre-market low. Just before the break of pre-market low, we got a flag pattern right here. So we got two green candles right here with low volume. So the volume is very, very important, because ideally on the pullback, this is called a bear flag strategy, and ideally on the pullback, the volume should go down, and that's what happened in this case. The volume went down. On the next candle, when I saw that a lot of people are hitting the bid, I see a lot of red on the time and sales, the volume is increasing. I placed my order to get filled and I caught this move towards the downside. So now we broke down the daily chart, the bigger picture. We looked at the 1 minute chart. Let's now take a look at my entries and exits and the recording of this trade. But before we do that, make sure that you guys give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification, because I'm releasing 2 to 3 new videos on day trading every single week. Here's a recording of my trade on SPY. As I just broke down, we had a clean flush towards the downside. We got a flag pattern right here with low volume on the 1 minute chart. Pulled back to $459 level. We got rejected from there. That's why when it made a new 1 minute low right here at the break of 458.7, I'm gonna place my order to get filled. I'm trading 4580 puts. I'm trading the SPX index puts, same day expiry contracts. They are expiring on 0 day. That is the same day expiry contracts. I got filled 10 contracts and my fill price was 10.8, and my stop loss on this trade is the break of 458.8 or maybe 459 towards the upside. And as I entered this trade, we saw a clean flush towards the downside. The pre-market low is still holding, so just to lock in some profits, I took 5 contracts out at a fill price of 11.9. So the premiums moved approximately 10% in my favor just by holding this trade for a couple of seconds, maybe around 20 seconds, which is insane. I got a really good move in my favor. My entry was right here, so I caught this move towards the downside. I kept taking my partials along the way. I took another contract out at a fill price of 13.2. I took my second last contract out at a fill price of 13.6. I was just holding one last contract to see if he can break towards the downside, if he can get a further push towards the downside, and if not, I'm gonna exit my last contract at break even. I held that contract for a while, but when we made a new 1 minute high and we saw a push above 458.2 towards the upside, I covered that last contract at a fill price of 11.7, overall making around $1,500 on this trade by only holding this trade for like 4 to 5 minutes, which is insane. If you look at risk to reward on this trade, my entry was right here when it made a new 1 minute low, and my risk was the break of 458.8 or 459 towards the upside. If I would have seen buying pressure, maybe a lot of green on the time and sales, or maybe the hold of this level, I would have exited this trade. So I was risking around $700 to $800 on 10 contracts, and I made $1,500, which is 2 to 1 risk to reward. Not the best risk to reward, but it's still really good for trading the first 10 minutes of market open. When everything was said and done, let's now take a look at my PNL. I made $1,700 in total. I made $233 on my DWAC trade. I made $1,500 on my SPY SPX trade. My first entry was at 9:30 a.m. right at the market open. My last partial on SPX was at 9:38 a.m. So that means I only traded for the first 8 minutes of market open. It's 10 a.m. now, right at the bottom, making $1,700 in 8 minutes. A really good start to the week, and I just decided to call it a day. That's it, guys. But before you go, make sure that you guys give this video a thumbs up. Every single like counts, and it helps out the channel to reach new traders out there. And if you are new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell notification, because I'm releasing 2 to 3 new videos on day trading, my journey as a day trader every single week. If you don't follow me on Instagram, the link will be in the description box below. I post a lot of behind the scenes on Instagram of a day trader, and you can also see my journey on Instagram when I started making $20, $50, $500, $5,000, $10,000. Everything can be seen on Instagram. The link will be in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.